Hey y'all. So this recap, oh my gosh. Usually, I would have everything all edited and nice music and all that magic, but I'm doing this on a whim and I'm obviously not on the home computer. But I have to tell you about KCON 16 here in New York. Well, technically Newark, New Jersey. Okay, first off, it was hot. It was real hot. And if you're using public transportation like I was, then you arrived already sweaty. Like you came prepared, already pre-wet. That sounds disgusting, but it's the truth. I got there Friday, and the first thing that we had to do was check in. So I go to Hotel Indigo, which is where they had the green room, which was technically not a green room because it was a portion of the restaurant that general people could come into. So that was a little interesting. But got in, checked in, saw Salvi Magnet and the family, and that was always good. It's always nice to see them. But we took photos, everybody figured out where they were going, chatted it up because we all pretty much, well, I know I only see them all once a year because I don't travel to the majority of the places they all do together. And for those of you who are out there who ship me and Kenny, the Multifacetedacg ship, we did get a picture. You can check all these pictures and all these other clips on my Instagram. But like I said, this is just overall recap. So my first panel was the return of the secret lives of K-pop fans over 30. So we did the panel, which if you go to KCON USA's YouTube channel and you look at the day one video recap at the 36-second mark, that clip and the segment immediately thereafter is from our panel. People had a blast in there. It was a really good turnout. I also did the K-pop fan to K-pop professional panel Friday, which I was like the odd man out up there. Everybody else pretty much had a very similar approach to how they got involved in the industry, and I came in obviously through YouTube. What else was really cool? It was cool seeing East Coast McGualas, people I didn't even know were fans, and Midwest McGualas. Some people flew much further than I did. Some flew from low Florida and from Nevada and things like that. So that was cool to see that. What else? The concert. Well, I was hungry the majority of the day. I didn't get to any food truck. Everything was outside, kind of like KCON 13 and 14 when they were at their old venue. So it was too hot and I wasn't about that life. But the concert Friday night was barely packed out. Saturday, yeah, it was packed. But Friday, 17 puts on a heck of a good show. Those are some really good young men. And who else performed? Crush. Before I even talk about Crush, y'all, Crush looked me in the eyeball. He did, yes he did. I was on my panel and I was looking, and it was this cameraman walking past. I wasn't talking on the panel yet. It wasn't my turn. But I'm looking, the cameraman walks past, and then this guy just turns and he just like dead locks. And I'm like, I couldn't say the word, but I was elbowing Lisa. She was sitting by me. Lisa Espinosa is another professional in the industry too. And somebody in the audience just hollered out, and I'm like, that's Crush. Like, that was a great moment. A lot of people got really good photos of him because he was like striking poses and stuff out in the street. But yeah, Crush's performance, he looked entirely sleepy and tired, but they did not keep those vocals from ripping. And speaking of ripping vocals, Ailey shut it down in Jersey. Unexpectedly, her audio cut off out of nowhere in the middle of her performance. It didn't stop her. She kept on belting. So if y'all are out there thinking these people are lip syncing because they sound too much like the album, suck a butt. It's real. She can really sing her behind off. Quite a few of them can, but that woman can belt. She did a note or whatever for one of her songs, leaned back with the mic, and instead of just coming back up, she whipped it around and rolled back up. I'm like, you know what? Do you? I was live tweeting as much as my brain could fathom everything. So yesterday was even more hot and disrespectfully warm, and we did the cultural appropriation panel at the end of the day. But let's go back a little bit more. Okay, the SM producers. SM Entertainment had two producers come, one who's a Canadian and one who is a South Korean native, and they worked on quite a few songs that you like, EXO, Shiny. And the funny thing was they were speaking about Red Velvet's Dum Dum, and how one person asked how they ended up putting the Michael Jackson references in there, and the South Korean producer is like, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I got up and went to the bathroom and I came back and that was already written. They've worked with a lot of interesting writers, and they do thoroughly listen to the feedback that the fans give. So if you've been wondering why the music has more of a Western feel, it's because they are listening to what we want, just the same as the progression of the music in the Japanese market and the Mandarin market sounds like what they want to hear there. Be cognizant of the fact that these producers and writers do read what you put in these forums and what you tweet and whatnot. That's a good and bad thing. You know, if you're out there being a hot mess, they already know about it. But yeah, they did flat out say, not allude to, they legitimately said they do read the fan forums and things of that sort to see what people think of the songs that they've worked on. So your feedback genuinely is being incorporated into how the Hallyu wave is changing in terms of the K-pop side of things. There is something you want to check out. It's called How Do You Hallyu. There's a Facebook page that's developing and a website and whatnot. I'm not going to give away too much just yet. We'll wait until KCON LA for me to really get into that with y'all, but it's going to be amazing. And then finally, let's talk about cross-cultural clashes in Hallyu. The panel was phenomenal. We had to consistently ensure that everyone was aware that they were in a safe space to communicate and talk about whatever it is that they wanted. I didn't film it this time. I will film LA, just because I wanted the intimacy to be organic and just have everyone feel like they weren't put on the spot. It really was an amazing experience, and it's gotten a lot of positive feedback. One cool thing, you all know I picked someone to win the ticket to come to the concerts with me. Unfortunately, she was not able to. However, two young ladies who came to my last panel, they were waiting to ask me a question. They had nothing holding them back from asking, and as soon as they finally got a solo moment with me, another Megwala came out of nowhere and passed one of them a P1 ticket. So they're having a meltdown and they're trying to sort out what they're going to do. And they're like, we didn't have tickets. We only came for this part. We were going to go back home to Philly. I pulled out the other ticket and gave it to one of the girls. So one of them had a P1 experience. The other one sat right by me and watched me lose my mind over day 6. And it was awesome to be a part of someone's blessing. It really was. And my manager pointed out that this seems to happen like every year with me when it comes to KCON, that I get to do something just unbelievable. And the fact that one of my Magwalas came through and did that, like, when I tell y'all, when I say that my fandom is the most phenomenal in the world, it's not a lie. It's not a lie. We so dope. Oh my gosh. My precious Magwalas were so amazing. One of my fans, my youngest fan, Madison, who I met in LA last year, I was heading into the K-pop fan and K-pop professional panel, and her mom and dad were in line to see me again, and like it almost brought me to tears. That I love my fans so much. You all are so important to me. So the fact that you allow me to have this platform and impact your lives, and you go out of your way to come and see me wherever I am, or let me know what's going on with you, or tweet with me and things, I'm gonna get choked up. Here we go. Y'all are amazing people, and it's amazing that you all think I'm kind of cool too. But I have a platform, and it's thanks in part to what you all do, and I'm humbled by the fact that you all believe I can impact lives in a positive way. The concerts yesterday was too lit. It was too lit, okay? Scenery change. So yeah, let me pick up where I left off, freaking out about Saturday's concert. Okay, they kicked it off with Mama Moo. You know how I feel about them. I'm a huge Moo. They looked very adorable, very charismatic. Vocals was spot on like they always are. They were followed up by Eric Nam, who is just slaying his own songs, and then he would like have his interaction with the audience or whatever. And he goes, Okay, the first song was, depressing, and the next song is going to be really depressing. But if you all cry, I'll cry with you. He's got such a good personality. At the end of KCON, he was dancing, and then he realized we could all see him. And he just bent over and was like, I'm so